Oh, okay. Hearts love, I hope you're still here. Yeah, I had a bit of a late start, but no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Uh, yes. Okay, we'll wait a minute or two. Hearts love, could you just type and let me know if you're still in the chat? Okay. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Sorry for the late arrival. The story of my life. My ancient computer has been, along with this webcam, have become the bane of my existence. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Ah, yes, hearts love. There you go. There you go. No, sorry. Like I said, it's become the bane of my existence. Ah. Ah. For those of you who are new here, welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. And we are a story time / social commentary channel dealing a lot with mental health issues, but not exclusively. If you're into that kind of thing, please consider subscribing and hit that little bell thingy below so you can be notified every time I upload. Yes, I have a very straightforward title. Now, ordinarily, I don't really talk about my thumbnails. I've had a lot of positive comments about my thumbnails, which is funny because I got thumbnails on many of my videos that, well, I really put no effort in. I slap some stock photo image on it, and then others I do put some effort in, But today I thought I picked the Munsters, okay, because as you can see by the image, okay, as you can see by the image. Now, for those of you, some of you might have been too young because I realize, according to my analytics, most of my viewers are under the age of 34 and might not, and were, they were not around when the Munsters were on television. Now, the Munsters, along with the Addams Family, were in the mid-60s. I would say those shows came out in an effort to provide a G-level, G-rated version of Not Normal. Glad to see you and hear you too, Hearts Love. Good to hear you. Okay. So anyways, as you can see by the image, but some of you older viewers might know who the Munsters were. Now, as you can see, right front and center is Lily's cousin, Marilyn. And, nice, pretty, slim, blonde lady, looks normal, certainly according to societal norms and the rest of the family. But if anybody watched the Munsters, they would have known that the Munsters felt Marilyn was actually the black sheep of the family and that she was the one who looked abnormal. You know what I mean? So I thought that's why I went with the Munsters in theme with this thumbnail, because it's almost like we're almost wearing a uniform, if you ask me, or uniform is, excuse me, sorry about that. I don't smoke enough. Oh, you know who the Munsters were, huh? Yeah. So, it was a family that otherwise, besides their appearance and some of their views on life, it was a somewhat, mother, father, child, grandpa, and cousin Marilyn. On the show, we were allowed to watch because it was G-rated. I loved how unique they were. Yeah, it was them and the Addams Family, but like I said, I picked them. I picked the Munsters for the thumbnail because of cousin Marilyn, because she is what that has been, but considered, the societal norm, how a woman, a real woman, so-called real woman, so-called normal woman should look. But in the case of the Munsters in the storyline, if everybody remembers, like I said, she was the black sheep. She was the one who was the abnormal family member. So anyways, we're going to stop the screen share and we're going to try my webcam for a bit. If it does not, okay, hang on. Okay, we're going to try my webcam. If it does not work, I'll go back to voiceover. Okay, so so anyways, how many of you in the chat, you feel free to mention it, How often are we seeing on social media or even with people, hey, Molly, good to see you. They're saying, when will things get back to normal? I want things back to normal. And I think most of us know, that things will never go back to the way they were. The world as we know it pre-pandemic, it has changed. Now, I realize the unknown in front of us is a scary thing. And I kind of address that in my analysis of the new Dad How Do I channel. That video is in the pinned comment below. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend that you do so, please. Yes. So this time we're going to delve into, normal, what normal was before. How many of us, how well has it really served us? Hey, Juggalo, good, Juggalo Ninja, good to see you. Now, how well has so-called normal and normies, how well has that served us? Many of us. The tagline on my channel art, it says, straight talk from a marginalized Gen Xter. I am marginalized. There's no question about it. And many who come, who are members of my Discord server or who come watch me regularly, watch my videos regularly, could also be considered marginalized as well. So I'm going to ask the question, how well has the so-called normal, the normies pre-pandemic, how well has that really served us? Seriously, how well has it served us? Yeah, I lost my sight at the time. The first time at 16, I wasn't so much normal before that. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, Molly. Yeah, I remember. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's an excellent one, learning bow tie. Yeah, yeah. So, like, how well has it served us, really? I mean, what was happening before, besides the obvious, okay, when we talk globally, the obvious inequality, okay, even as recently, what happened with George Floyd, and this was considered a norm, cops getting away with killing a suspect more than, that I was unarmed. We're seeing that recently. What else? But yeah, back to, inequality, socio-economic status, the imaginary rat race, it's like we're running endlessly. I've seen that meme before on social media where we're running endlessly in a little hamster wheel. It's like we're trapped in there and we keep running and running and running. And they call it the rat race. Get more money, make more money, strive for a better, so-called better job, another career, better career. It's like, in the words of Susan Powter 30 years ago, stop the insanity, Now it's time for UBI. Yeah, I agree. I'm not really going to be talking politics that much, but yeah, you're right. We do need universal basic income. I think it's high time to it was high time a couple of months ago to try that rather than that patchwork we had here in Canada, of emergency relief benefits, right? Yeah. But that's just one thing. But yeah, what else was there before? I find, social media has always been, it's had its, ups and downs. It has its good and bad side. And in particular, in the case of Twitter, not for nothing, a lot of people call it shitter. It can be toxic, and yeah, people have become meaner to each other. I've noticed, if that was even possible. And I thought people were mean before pre-pandemic, right? And what else was happening? Especially over a decade ago, Ayn Rand novels were making a comeback. The norm was to place virtue on selfishness. Now, most of us were raised that selfishness was not, was a character flaw. It was not a good thing. But Ayn Rand, if anybody read, Atlas Shrugged or Fountainhead, selfishness was a virtue. And it made a comeback over a decade ago, and massively made a massive comeback. I remember there's that actress, Ava Mendes, who claimed that her next life partner, husband, whatever, She would not consider anybody as a partner unless they've been reading and enjoying Ayn Rand novels like she was. And it became all the rage decades after Ayn Rand herself died. Even though the lifestyle, the so-called utopia that Ayn Rand was preaching was unattainable. Yes, especially to her herself, it was unattainable. If anyone knows their history, that Ayn Rand, at the end of her life, she had lung cancer, and she benefited from Medicare, and she benefited from Social Security. Two things she really railed against, government interference or government aid. But she herself, availed herself of Medicare when she had lung cancer toward the end of her life, and Social Security, because she couldn't work anymore, right? Hey, Candlelight, good to see you. Celebrity worship now. No one cares for them. Yeah, that's true. It started with Reagan and Thatcher in 1980. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Molly, but I think it was more prevalent a decade ago. I mean, had we ever seen a time around the world or in the Western world, right-wing governments were being elected. They not just in right-wing governments were being elected. We saw it happen. Stephen Harper was the prime minister. He was elected prime minister in 2006 and remained prime minister in Canada for almost a decade. And before that happened, everybody thought he was unelectable because he was a member of the Christian right, which people thought that he was not going to be electable, with his SoCon values, right? Now, anybody who tells me he wasn't SoCon, just go back in his history and look at some quotes from him. Anybody who does their homework knows. So he was supposed to be unelectable, but yeah, I guess a great example of the Overton window. But you know what? He ended up prime minister for over a decade, and in Europe, where there's social democracy, countries that have social safety nets that only we in Canada can envy, right? And we were starting to see European government shifting to the right too as the successive elections come. People like Paul Ryan, former Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, who say healthcare is a privilege, not a right, while enjoying government-provided healthcare. Oh, trust me, the hypocrisy and the ironies here are not missed on me. They're really not missed on me. Don't get me started on Dictator Harper. Yeah, I know, a dark period in our history, although there are people who think he should be making a comeback. We'll see how that goes. Atlas Shrugged is a classic if anyone hasn't read it. Yeah, except I hate it. But anyway, yeah. So what was that, so it was this, so what we had, is this imaginary rat race. This kind of reminded me. Hi, Nevada. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Nevada Ray, hope you're doing well. So anyways, not that long ago, there's a channel called Pierre XO. He is an American expat currently living in Europe and has been the last couple of years. He does a lot of what I do, but I guess for an even younger audience. He does social commentary. He does some reaction videos, some politics, go check him out. He's actually quite a bright young man. He really is. And he did a video not long ago called, what was the title? Whoa, sorry. What was the title? It's in the pinned comment below the video. It's called, I'm a workaholic, yet I can't stand hustle culture. And yeah, we do live in hustle culture, and it's been that way for years. I'm not going to be reacting to his video, but like I said, it is in the pinned comment, and I do recommend that you give it a watch. I do. Yeah, I do recommend that you give that video a watch. But yeah, it's but his basic theme in that video was in Europe, where he currently lives. And I had noticed this too when I visited Holland a long time ago when I was a kid. and my father had explained things to me. We had gone to Holland to visit my father's side of the family, and that so what they both told me was, Europeans work to live. And that's basically how it should be. We work, we get a job so we can pay the bills, so we can keep a roof over our heads, so we can eat, put the clothes on our backs, right? Okay. That's what we do. But North American culture, both Canada and the United States, what have we done? It's the complete and total opposite. We live to work. And yeah, hang on. I'm sure it's scary there, but everything seems on edge. Hopefully you're all staying safe. Yeah, I hope you're all staying safe, of course. Excuse me. I hope you're all staying safe. So anyways, like I said, yeah, so that's one of the things I hope we would stop seeing. We had heard from the New Zealand Prime Minister recently that in order to help the economy, in that country post-pandemic, if you will, is propose a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week, which I think would be a marvelous idea when you think about it, just examples like that. But would we consider it in Canada or in the United States? Not likely. I mean, Canada might have a slightly better chance of that, but I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, I think it would be a good idea. But in other cultures, family is most important. Family is first and foremost. And it's gotten to the point where, you hear so-called life coaches, motivational speakers. To me, they're a blight on society. You know what I mean? They're a true blight on society. They're professions that don't have to be certified. And do they exist in Europe or in Asia? Yeah, probably. But anyways, hi, Nicole. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great Saturday too. Enjoy your workout. Yep. Anyways, okay, hi. Great to see you. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. Hearts Love, if you can, please put the links to put all the links up right now. I guess we'll take this opportunity as new people are flocking in. Yeah. Station break for a moment. Station identification break. If you wish to support this channel, you may do so. I have Patreon where I put up a lot of more personal content, topics that I wish to test drive on a smaller audience, or topics I'm not willing to share with a larger audience. I do fun stuff as well, like other reactions to balance things out. So for as little as $1 per month, you can join my Patreon and catch that fun content. For one-time donations, you can also donate to my Streamlabs and my PayPal. Okay, if I don't have a mod. Anyways, the links are in the description box below the video. If you haven't already joined our Discord server, what are you waiting for? Thank you, Hearts Love. Thank you. Hearts Love is putting the links up in the chat right now. She's putting the links up in the chat. Yeah, you can join, Nevada. If you're over 18, that's all we ask for. If you're over 18, yeah, come and join our Discord server. Awesome people. We're staying strong. The people who just want justice are destroying everything. Thankfully, they're only attacking business, sad, but we're safe. Yeah, here's the thing. Also, I mean, not only this, selfishness being a virtue, the imaginary rat race, running forever and ever and ever in that little hamster wheel. One of the lessons I had hoped that would have been learned through this was, that most of the essential workers, what's deemed essential workers, they're often the lowest paid workers as well, particularly those who work in the food service industry or who work like cleaning hospitals and clinics, orderlies, PAB, stuff like that. Ever noticed? And then when there's a shortage, because either people are too afraid because there's not enough protective gear, health and safety is lacking, or for whatever reason, You would have thought that a lot of these bosses or that society as a whole would have realized these businesses, and we can't have those services without these workers. And I would have hoped this would have been a lesson learned, and thus a greater appreciation for these workers, and no more so than employers. Should employers, they should realize they can't get by. So I think it's high time that workers, for many years, uh, both in the United States and in Canada, wages have not kept up with the rate of inflation. Okay, wages have not kept up with the cost of living. You know what I mean? Yeah, Discord is free. It's entirely free. Yeah, I understand. It's okay, Molly. I'm only advertising it. There's no pressure to join my Patreon. It's okay. But you can check out Discord. That's completely free. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up on the way out the door. It's a free. That's also another free way to help your gal out. Thank you. No, don't feel pressured. I just advertise these things. Anyways, where was I? Where was I? Oh, yes. So, that's one lesson I hope we would have learned, but we didn't. Okay. We just continue, our governments are calling the healthcare workers, the heroes, guardian angels and stuff. But in reality, they are being treated like garbage. They are truly being treated like garbage. And we're finding that more and more. But do we as a society care? And I'm finding maybe not so much. You know what I mean? Not so much. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Hearts Love. We're good. Look at the massive outbreak in North Montreal. It's all load PSWs, personal service workers, and other essential workers who are all people of color. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's been happening, and that brings me to my next point. In inequality, there's still way too much inequality. I'm not talking just between the genders. And it's a given, yes, any race or ethnicity or culture, that's a given. All are still not created equal in the eyes of society. And I was hoping, because especially in a case of like Montreal, and I imagine a lot of other jurisdictions too, that people in the lower paid echelons of essential workers, i.e. the food service industry or the healthcare industry, who are people of color, who are a lot of immigrants, they would have started to have a lot more appreciation. We would start to see them with, I don't know, we would start respecting them even, but no, that's not happening either, much to my chagrin. And I think what happened with George Floyd recently, the George Floyd incident, is an example of how we have not evolved. The thing that gave, I've been thinking about this for so much. Normies have been the bane of my existence. I mean, I've been consistently left out, school, my family, just left out, kicked to the curb, so-called friends abandoning me when their lives go better. Yeah. And that, we live in a throwaway society, and whatever happened, I always believed in, we should be measuring human beings by integrity, empathy, how they approach their fellow man. But still, no, the quality, thanks to the blight of society that is so-called motivational speakers, life coaches, dating gurus, they measure the quality of people by such superficial, crazy shit. Like, for a woman, it's how she looks. It's looks. Oh, and did I say looks? And for a dude, first and foremost, it's socio-economic status. Now, in second place for a man, it is, of course, his appearance. And in second place for the woman, it's her socio-economic status. We still shun people unless they're older. We see that they're older or they have a visual disability. And even then, we still shun these people. I mean, we shun the elderly. What's been happening in the nursing homes is evidence of that. That's a video coming up in the next few days, by the way, a whole separate video. I will be talking about the mess in the nursing homes, another revelation of a societal flaw. That's coming up in a few days. So I'm not going to dwell on too much about that now. But Yeah, they are part of the marginalized, the elderly, right? Sorry, I missed part of it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Hearts Love. I appreciate you. So, but it's just, we're so superficial, and for what? We insist. It's like I've been noticing for a long time, for people to hate on such superficial little things, which they do. Is that the reason you get up in the morning? Really? Unless you're hating on something or someone, unless you're putting somebody down, is that the reason for you to get out of bed in the morning? Really? Because maybe you're the one that needs help, not people like me. You know what I mean? Frankie Legs is trying to Frankie Legs. I love that name for our premier Molly. Frankie Legs is trying to deny there's a problem in the nursing homes. Oh yeah, and Doug Ford is too over in Ontario. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole separate video about that because I have a lot to say on that subject. And if I stick on that subject of the nursing homes now, this live stream is going to go on forever. And really, I'd like to keep it under an hour. I'd like to keep most of my streams under an hour as much as that possible, except for special occasions, like if I'm doing a collab. Okay, so yeah, that's coming up in the week coming. Scouts Honor. Yeah, Scouts Honor, that's coming up. So, hang on. So what is, I mean, how about we work on being kinder to each other? Now, there's a concept. There's a concept. How about we all treat each other equally? That everybody is equal. How about that? I realize that's not realistic, sadly. It could be if we wanted it to be. I mean, as a society, if we wanted to be. But it's something to think about. And I would have thought that during these frightening times of uncertainty, that might have snapped us more into a mode of, more kindness, probably taking better care of our fellow man. But no, that hasn't happened. If anything, the opposite has happened. We've become nastier. We have come to, Moly Mole has just joined our Discord server. Absolutely cool. Great. Cool. Welcome, Moly. But also what brought up, and I'm going to share the screen again. There was a video I saw on Twitter last night. There was a video I saw on Twitter last night, and it was a ranting video, but she was also accurate. And I want to share that with you, and I'm going to share it with you now. Hang on. Where is it? Hang on. I'm looking for a video. Here we go. Okay. Hang on. It's going to take a few minutes to come on because my computer is slow and it's ancient. Okay. It says it was from Mona El Hathaway. Okay, so we're going to watch that video. It's a very short video. It's just under 2 minutes. Okay. All righty. Here we go.
Patreon. I cut my hair off because I am cutting up my return ticket to normal. There is no going back to normal after a pandemic. At least 365,000 people have died around the world during this pandemic. That's what normal brought us. Fuck normal. Those clamoring to go back to normal, at least here in the United States, are Orwellian facts. White supremacists appropriating the heroes and the language of Black liberation and power to go back to normal during a pandemic that has killed mostly Black people and people of color. But normal, we see anti-choice facts holding up signs saying my body, my choice during the pandemic, in which religious zealots want to use COVID-19 to erode abortion rights, and during a time when women are subjected to even more intimate partner terrorism on their bodies. Fuck normal. Fuck normal. When normal means injustices and inhumanities that have meant that those most affected during this pandemic are the elders, Black and Indigenous people, people of color, the disabled, and those most marginalized and left vulnerable by normal. I refuse to go back to normal. I cut off my hair because I refuse to emerge from this as if I've been on vacation at home for 3 months. Racism is not normal. It's abnormal. Poverty is abnormal. Ableism is abnormal. Ageism must be abnormal. None of those things must ever be called normal. If you hear anyone say, let's go back to normal, remind them that it was abnormal. Fuck abnormal and fuck the patriarchy.
Okay. Well, you heard it from here first. And that's what inspired me to do this video today. Absolutely. Fuck normal and fuck abnormal. What the hell is normal and what the hell is abnormal? You know? Oh, Tammy, hi. I didn't see you come in. People, okay, let's see the chat. People are acting terrible. I work in a restaurant and I'm truly scared of people more than this virus. I hear you, Tammy. I hear you. And I think that's a valid question. What is more frightening, society or this disease? Catching this disease, which we cannot mention. We call it the Rona around here because we can't actually mention it on YouTube for whatever godforsaken reason. But yeah, I hear you. Yeah, but yeah, good to see you here, Tammy. So, Moly Mole, hearts love. But we shall see what happens in time, but it's not looking good. No, it isn't. And what that lady said in the video, she's right. Why do we want to go back to all of that? Why do we want to go back to a world pre-pandemic? You know, why can't we try to learn from it and try to, you know, do better? And what I mean by do better, it's like, I don't mean losing weight. I don't mean getting plastic surgery or throwing makeup on our faces. I don't mean... You know, I don't mean going back to that rat race, trying to get that promotion, trying to get more money, you know, more money to buy more things, more, you know, consume more items that we're likely not going to use, certainly items we don't need. You know what I mean? Like, why don't we try to promote something that is, you know, more egalitarian, more, you know? Do these people protesting masks also consider seatbelts an invasion of their personal freedom? A lot of them do. You'd be surprised, Molly. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. And it's true. Somebody mentioned earlier in the chat that in the United States, when you go back to American history, then President FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he did introduce the New Deal following the stock market crash of 1929, the Great Depression of the 30s. Yeah, but that was never really adhered to, now was it? But yeah, we do need a New Deal. In Canada, the United States, the world, we do need a New Deal, you know? A world where healthcare, you know, most of us believe healthcare is a human right. Shouldn't be a privilege. It shouldn't be something of the rich. It should be a privilege, you know, it should be it's a human right. That's what we believe. Healthcare should be a human right. I mean, 3 McDonald's employees were shot because they asked someone to go through the drive-through because the dining room wasn't open. That's disgusting. Oh God, Tammy, yeah, that's what I mean. You know, people, they can't go to the they can't go into the bloody dining room, you know? But then again, we're talking about people who shoot each other in Walmart parking lots on Black Friday so they can get that last big ass screen TV. You know, it's like, for what? It's senseless. It's absolutely senseless. And like I said, we toss people aside. You know, marginalized people, because society has marginalized, because we don't follow a normal convention that they dictate. The disabled, the elderly, the poor. Take me, for instance, okay? I mean, we've seen people who don't work unless they're retired, and even then. But people like me, for instance, oh, you're too young to be retired, you know? It's like, what do you do all day? You don't work. There was a guy who told me that he would not consider having a relationship with me because I was prematurely retired. But you know what? Here's the irony. I pay more taxes than he does. I found that out recently with my goddamn tax bill. Okay, my goddamn tax bill, which both the province and the feds can't figure out. But yeah, you know, that's the thing. They think, You know, they judge automatically. Our taxes are supporting you, okay? Yes, there are certain revenues like welfare, at least here in Quebec anyway. I can't speak for the other provinces or anywhere else in the world. It's not taxable, but pensions are taxable. Even government pensions are taxable. I live off a disability insurance, which is private sector. The bulk of my income comes from private sector. It's from an insurance company. And you know what? And I end up with a very huge tax bill. Okay. Every year, and every year it's to fight, to duke it out, and that particular individual, he might make more than I do at his job. And he dared to criticize me because I'm retired, but I pay more taxes than he does. How am I not contributing? How the hell am I not contributing? And that brings me to my next point. Society's idea of contributing. We must contribute. And, there is this small part, okay, go out and do some volunteer work for some organization, that feel good measure. But most of it contributing to them goes back to that ideal of selfishness. If we go out, in that imaginary rat race where, by the way, there is no finish line. Hate to tell you this, there is, but I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say it. That's where that finish line is. But it's imaginary. It's imaginary. Wow, there's a concept, something to think about, right? Did you see the woman who filmed themselves going to a grocery store, and they, over there in the meat department, they were wearing skirts, took off their underwear and put it on as a mask, like ew, that's gross. Oh, no, I missed that one. Oh, that is just, ew. I wasn't sure how user-friendly it would be for you, but I'll DM you and show you the ropes. Thanks, Hearts Love, for giving a hand to Moly Mole at the Discord. I appreciate you. Thank you. Much appreciated. But yeah, that's the number one. What contribution is. Yeah, of course, a worker contributes by paying taxes, supposedly. Well, workers, yes, but CEOs don't. That's why they, how often do we hear it? We heard years ago Warren Buffett say that he was taxed at a higher rate than his secretary was. That's impressive. I mean, nowadays, what's come back into the conversation with the federal government aid here in Canada, because Trudeau is now sending financial aid to companies in a gambit to try to keep employees on the payroll during the lockdowns. But the problem is a lot of these companies and a lot of these CEOs are funneling money to offshore accounts, tax havens, offshore. So they're not paying taxes, so yeah. And what are they contributing besides having a liquid lunch? Their workers are keeping them rich. I've always said this, the backs of the working class, that is what keeps them rich. Okay, they're rich off the backs of the working class. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Warren Buffett said, yeah, that's right. That's what I said. His secretary is taxed at a higher rate than he is. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure when my partner in crime met his dad's girlfriend for the first time. She spent the whole time questioning why I don't work, because she knows plenty of disabled blind people even who work. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's another thing I would have loved to have seen an end to, A lot of disabilities, I think we can all agree, a chronic illness can be a disability. Mental illness, definitely. I did a series on mental illness and employment, and there is a playlist on my channel. Just go to my playlist page and you'll find several videos on that topic there. Yeah. But, and it's this it's this judgment, it's so judgmental. How often do we see, I know someone personally, he was let go of his job when he was in his mid-50s, and that was after 25 years of service. Can you imagine that? And it's like, as Pierre XO mentioned in his video, which is in the pinned comment below, besides being self-identified by our looks and our socioeconomic status, what's the first thing? What's your name? What do you do to make a buck? What do you do to make a living? He's absolutely right when he says that. That's the first thing. So we're defined by what we do. No wonder a lot of people, it's not just the worry of how they're going to feed their families. Where's the next job going to come from? In a world, especially in a workforce where age discrimination is prevalent, but it's also a part of their identity is taken. And that has to be blamed largely on the type of culture we live in, where we live to work. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if these billionaires would give millions to fight this, but they haven't. No, they haven't, Tammy. No, they haven't. I would also like to remind people who think taxpayers are only people who pay income tax. Anyone who buys anything pays taxes. Absolutely. We have the GST here in Canada. We have the GST. Each of our provinces, easy for me to say. Each of the provinces, we have the harmonized sales tax. Here it's the PST. Anywhere else in the world, it's called VAT. Yeah, absolutely. We buy something at the store, we pay taxes. Anything from food to clothing to furniture. So yeah, we are contributing, we are contributing. Even somebody who might receive an income that is not taxable per se, like welfare or social assistance. But yeah, they are paying taxes by, everything they purchase, because no matter what, everybody needs food, everybody needs clothes, to put, the basic minimum of clothing to put on our backs. That's another thing that, that's blatantly left out. Jeffy B is about to become a trillionaire. Yeah, you see how ridiculous that is? Jeff Bezos of Amazon. How much money has he made since the pandemic? He's always probably the richest person in America, certainly, if not one of the top 10 richest people in the world, right up with the Richard Bransons or the Rothschilds. But how much money is he making, especially now, because we're reliant on goods to be delivered, whether because we can't count on our retailers to have what we need in stock or what we want in stock, or we can't count, we can't count on them having it delivered. So Amazon is probably even making more money during the pandemic. And how does he respond to that? He's treating his workers like, I've heard a story that he was cutting the pay of his workers, right? Like, this is disgusting. And he would rather, get rid of his workers than allow them to, God forbid, form a union. But people that think someone like me who is on disability in Ontario because Quebec refused me, consider me a taxpayer. Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm going through the same thing. I'm going through something similar, every year, because my situation is a little unusual and my source of revenue is a little unusual. It's called wage loss replacement. And they never know. Both Quebec and the Fed's CRA have no idea how to handle that. But I imagine next year it's going to be more chaotic. They're going to be learning, because I imagine most of these benefits, like the wage replacement subsidy and the CERB, would fall under wage loss replacement, just a different source. So I guess they'll all be getting a crash course. But anyways, that's next year. But yeah, like I said, I pay more taxes than somebody who makes even, $5,000 more than I do. I pay more taxes than they do. I have a higher tax bill. So yeah, darn tootin' I'm contributing. And what's the other thing, on the more personal side of life, which is not much better? You look at a dating site profile, what does a people look like? I like to skydive. I travel all the world. I go skiing. I go mountain climbing. I work out at the gym 7 days a week. I have this high-powered career where I work 80 hours a week. Where do you have time for a freaking ass relationship? Seriously. Where do you have freaking ass relationship? Once again, I was condemned because I supposedly didn't have activities. No, my activities are inside the home. I rarely leave my home, even pre-pandemic. My activities are YouTube. These days, my activity is YouTube. I do it from home. It is an activity. It's a lot of work. Editing videos, especially when you've got clunky old equipment. Okay, like I have, it's a lot of work, planning a video, even a live stream. Okay, a lot less work, but I still got to come up with a thumbnail. I got to design a thumbnail. I got to come up with a concept. I may not be, I got to come up with basic notes sometimes because I do forget. And it's a lot harder for someone like me. I have early onset FTD, so memory is an issue. I'm not contributing now because I have no income. Disability needs to be federalized. People like me shouldn't be in the position I am. No one should be, Foley. You're right. No one should be. Hang on. Okay. No one should be at all. And yeah, we honestly need to learn how to do better. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to be doing a couple of spin-off videos. I just wanted to give a general idea. For now, the Dad How Do I video that I did last week, it's in the pinned comment. PXO's video about hustle culture, and that's what it is. It's hustle culture. Everybody's got to have a hustle. That's also in the pinned comment below. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole separate video about the elderly and the nursing homes and the plight of the elderly and the disabled, because even disabled people who are not seniors are living in these homes, long-term care facilities, nursing homes, and how society views it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be doing, that's a video that's coming up next week. Tomorrow or Monday at the latest, a video. It will be an upload, not a live stream. I'm going to be having a video about Charlie Gold, the long-awaited video about Charlie Gold that it's coming up either Sunday or Monday. Okay. And like I said, sometime this week, the upcoming week, about the plight of seniors. If anybody has any video topics, please feel free to share them with me. If you're a member of the Discord, if you haven't already joined, please consider do so. If you're over the age of 18, we have rooms for all tastes. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the way out the door. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the way out the door. Yeah. Okay. And now I'm going to leave the last few moments of the chat to you. Does anybody have anything to add of this? Well, we're glad you're here too, Hearts Love, and I've always appreciated you. Yeah, this is where I leave it to you. If not, if you think of something later, the stream will still be up. And you may feel free to let your views heard, or just let me know what topics you'd like me to cover, other topics you'd like me to cover on this channel in the comment section below. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it here then. I'm going to end this stream here then. I wish you all a great weekend. Again, if you wish to support the channel. Oh, anytime, Molly, anytime. If you wish to, and don't apologize. You never have to apologize. Okay, so where was I? Oh, yes. If you wish to support this channel, you may do so. I have Patreon, where I put up a little more personal content, and I throw in some fun stuff to put in some balance, so you can get some extra content at least once per month, as low as $1 per month. If for a one-time donation, you may do so through PayPal or Streamlabs. And also, if you haven't joined our Discord server already, if you're 18 and up, we have rooms for all tastes. please consider joining our Discord server. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the way out the door. Please take care of yourselves and each other, please, more so than ever these days. And try to think about, normal wasn't so great back in the day. The so-called normie. Let's dispose of that term. Let's dispose of that hustle culture, as Fvck puts it. If there is somebody in your midst who is alone or at risk or vulnerable, please consider giving them a call, sending them a DM if they've got social media or a text. It can make all the difference in the world to that person sometimes. Yes, so please take care of yourselves and each other. And so, like I said, videos coming up this week. Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic over and out. Whoops. Sorry, I'm having a hard time turning this off. Oh, gosh. Buongiorno à toi. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sorry, I'm having trouble turning this off. I don't know why it's the computer once again. It wants me to stream forever. No. Okay. All right, hang on. Oh, I think we're going to get it.